let's get straight into it. An interesting week 2 here in the NFL. We're gonna start the shit show, and then I'm gonna back up kind of chronologically into the morning games. The shit show that was that Denver-Chicago game. All right, first off, Mark Schlereth. Okay, 16-14. The Bears win this. Bears moved 1-1. Denver falls to 0-2. Mark Schlereth, I got to call you out. I get it. He's not trying to be a homer, but he gave Flacco so many free passes during this thing. It was like, oh, great throw by Flacco. And the guy's stretching out, doing a fucking cartwheel, trying to get his hands on the ball. Every catch is an OBJ one-handed against the Cowboys Sunday nighter. And great throw by Flacco. No, Mark, not a great throw. You know how I know that? Because I had a lot of money riding on Joey last week, and he let me down. Let me down big time. And, I mean, he kind of let me down again today in a different way because I had a lot of money against Joey. And I ended up pushing that at the end of this. I got in on that Bears -2. Depending where you were, that was a very frustrating end of the game. I'm gonna get into that specifically from a gambling point of view. Why that killed me. But let's get rid of this Flacco guy, man. I've had enough of this. I get it. We're going to hear it all week. Oh, he was clutch. He was clutch there at the end, man. Did you see that? Did you see that 2-pointer, bro? I saw the 4-yard out. I guess it's a 2-yard out. Technically, it's a 2-pointer, right? It was a 1-yard out, right? Because we got halfway to the goal line. That was a weird rule right there at the end. So at the end of that thing, Denver, they score. They got a chance to kick the field goal for the extra point, 30 seconds left, or they can go for 2, and they can play hero ball. Initially, Fangio wants to go for 2. They're idiots. They don't get the playoff in time, so they've got to go ahead and kick the extra point from 5 yards further. McManus misses the extra point. Oh, it's over. Bears win, except they don't. Because what's his name? We're going to get to him later. I'll call him out by name later on in the awards section. Bears defensive back jumps off sides. Replay it. Strange rule there where the Broncos actually benefit. They get a chance to take it from the 2-yard line or some guy came on and explained it. So they get the ball at the 1. They want it back again. Go for it. Flacco hits that, ties it up. They go ahead, 14-13. And then Mitch Trubisky. He hasn't done shit all game. If you watched only the last 2 minutes of regulation, you'd think that both those guys were decent quarterbacks. You got to look back through the rest of 58 minutes of that film to find out that that's all a big facade, right? What movie is that from? I think it's Greg Kinnear, and he reveals his evil plot, and he says, it was all just a big facade. If you know what that is, let me know. So we got to get rid of Flacco. Trubisky's going to be Flacco in a while. You could see them winning something and him turning to Flacco. But he hits that pass down the seam. It was the reverse of the Florida State clock operator, which is hilarious. Florida State, same situation. Clock's supposed to stop against Virginia last night. Clock operator runs like 4 extra seconds off. They're forced to snap it instead of spike it. Shit show, Willie Taggart. All I'm saying is it's probably going to be another guy or two losing their job from the Marriott here at some point during this season down in the Tallahassee area because they're not happy with them. But back onto this. They hit the ball. They hit that pass, and they get the insta timeout. Like they're fucking playing Madden, and as the guy's going down, they're just hitting select, and then just gives it to you. That was a Madden timeout right there, if there's ever been one. They benefit, what's his name, Pinheiro. Credit to him, 52-yarder at the end. That's clutch. Nailed it. That Denver breeze kicked it right through that thin air. And if anybody comes out looking bad in this thing, it's really, it's Flacco, but we already knew that. It's really Vic Fangio. The guy just seems over his head. He's like some dude that, he's like, hey, you see Vic over there? Have you tried his honey chipotle wing sauce? No? His strawberry hot? You've never had? Oh, hey, Vic, come here, let me try these things. You try the wings out. Yeah, Vic, oh, these are delicious. So you steal Vic to run your little wing kitchen. And he gets there and all right, what do we got here? Starts sending the wings out there, these dry, stringy pieces of shit. And his sauce games managed to go down too. And you're like, Vic, what's going on here? I thought you fucking knew this. I just knew how to do the sauces. And apparently Vic Fangio's a sauce man. That's what he is. He's a sauce guy. Classic coordinator. Terrible time management. We'll call out more on that. Tough times if you're a Denver Broncos fan. Joe Flacco's your quarterback, and that's not changing until that asshole Drew Lock, gets off of IR. And then who knows where it goes from there. All right, well, where are we at? I saw it was a push. I mean, technically, in the real world, that was a push for me. But in technicality, it's an L on the scoreboard here. We had a plus 2.5. That's a tough half point. If you get your wallet, you get a checkbook on that one. Let's get back into the morning games. Let's go back through these. Colts at Titans. Colts 19, Titans 17. Both of them moved to 1-1. I was a snoozer. Definitely a snoozer. I actually had a secret large bet I had placed on the Colts earlier in the week. So Sunday went poorly. The last Sunday went poorly, I guess. This Sunday, marginal to slightly good. Partly because of this. So I went very big on the Broncos on Monday night. That turned out, it almost wiped me out completely. I was at 20% capacity on my Caribbean. Never going to see it again. My bookie account. Which, by the way, fucking call out against Bovada. They were trying to charge me a 5% VIG on my goddamn deposit. I don't think so. Are you kidding me? I go to deposit him. What's this extra X amount of dollars here? What? No. Well, I know what's funny about my bookies. If you take any of their bonuses, they say, "Oh, you have a five times rollover before you can cash out." It's like, what does that mean? It means, you need to gamble about $7 million before you can ever get a check from us. Oh yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. It's going away. Is March Madness still a thing? Yeah. Okay. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. About seeing this again. But anyhow, Colts, they pulled this one out. It was a close one down the stretch. Mariota had the ball coming in at the end, and they threw that ball short. Third down, Mariota goes up. He's not paying attention, spikes the ball. So now it's fourth down. They've got 4th and 2. Throws a quick slant, too high. Hits a guy, face mask, hands, bump, sail over. Game over. Huge win for the guy that forgot. He put a bunch of money on Colts plus 145 on the money line when he was tilting. So that was big, and that was one of the first events of the day. Loved every bit of that. Made my whole day. Made Jim's day. So I'll tell you what, man, if you're one of these ladies hanging out on the road, selling a good time down in the district in Nashville, you need a bolo. Be on the lookout for any limousines carrying red-faced goblins from Indiana. All right? Stay away from them. Don't get in a limo with Jim. All right, Chargers at Lions. Chargers. They're back. This is tough. This is like unstoppable force, immovable object. Stafford, Rivers. Who's going to pull the biggest boner move at the worst time? Turns out it was Rivers. Thank you, Philip. I was counting on you. You let me down. You let your team down. You let your many, many kids down. But I mean, that interception in the fourth down, 13-10. All he needs a field goal, tie it up. It's third down. He's forcing the ball. Or is it only second down? I think it was 2nd and 10. He's forcing the ball. Throws a deep corner of the end zone. Slay's been getting beat up all day long. Redemption in your face. Fortnite dance. Let's take the team photo. It's all over for the Chargers. Rivers just does that, man. Like, he does that at least once a year, right? Like, every time Phillip Rivers' wife gives birth, he blows an NFL game with a terrible pick in the back of the end zone. It's like once, sometimes twice a year. Maybe can you turn that around? No, wait. I guess. I mean, a normal human being couldn't turn that around in a football season, but, well, I can't. That's a lot of math. 16 weeks? No, that's not even close, right? I don't know. I don't have any kids. Somebody Google that. Send me the results. But he does it way too often. Big win for the Lions, despite Stafford's efforts. Only 245 yards. He had the 2 touches, but only two picks, of course. But like I said, out Highlandered by the man himself. Coin looking smug there. He had the Lions, had the Chargers, obviously. That guy's good. He's good. Let's go ahead, move on. Bills the Giants. I saw this one coming. Watching the highlights right here on the NFL Tonight, 28-14. And I just got to think that the people in New York that are deciding that Eli should keep playing. I just watched the first episode of Chernobyl on HBO. And it's horrifying. I recommend watching it. It's kind of like a snuff film. Really, really, really tense watch. just like having the ball when you're down possession as a Giants fan, Eli holding it. But there's this guy in the initial episode who, this reactor core, it's exploded, right? And this guy comes back and he says, Anton, the reactor core, it has exploded. And the guy is like, Igor, no, it cannot explode. But it has exploded. No, it cannot explode. You're stupid. And then the guy who went into the reactor core, the nuclear reactor core that exploded, his skin melts off of his body, right? So then, the guy in charge sends somebody else. You go check on this. But that guy says, but what about Igor over there? He's all melty, right? I would prefer that I'm not melty. But he says, no, Igor, he doesn't know what's going on. So he sends Ivan off. And then Ivan comes back. He says, "Oh yes, the core very, very exploded." Okay, he's like, "Fuck no, it can't be exploded. It's impossible. Don't you see in this diagram that I've got? That can't be the case." What's the radiation? Oh, it's off the charts. Kind of broke all our meters. Oh, interesting that we have all these defective meters. We better go get another one. Oh, that one's broken too? No way. All the signs are there. Dude, this has gone nuclear, and we need to quit throwing people into the wake of this disaster. And whoever's running the Giants is this guy in the back room. Dude, hey. I don't even know who their fucking GM is anymore. Giants GM. This guy, he's got a noodle arm. It's 8.2 today. And he moves like a statue. And we just drafted somebody who's like pretty good. Should we take this turd out? Insert something useful? No. Oh, he's still good, you say. The reactor is not exploded. Understood. How many more innocents need to die until, we realize that we should probably evacuate all the people across the river whose parakeets are dying right now? All right? We should do that soon. That's what the Giants should do. They should get rid of Eli soon. It's not getting any better until that happens. Where are we at? Here's let's go on the next one here. So I was all over Buffalo. Corn was all over Buffalo. Vindicated. Cash the check. Niners at Bengals. This is another one I felt good about. I shouldn't have felt good about it because it ended terribly. The Niners, they absolutely took it to the Bengals. This is Jamie. This is a clerical error on my part. I did not have the final sitting right here. Let's see how long it takes. All right, 41-17. All right, that was quite the beating that the Bengals took. So the Marvin Lewis is gone effect. Like, that hasn't settled in just yet. It's coming. I'm standing firm on that. All right, I will stand firm on that. Garoppolo is better. Maybe there's just some rust going on. The guy can play. You got to feel better about that. Real difference between these two teams, a run game, right? Matt Breida, 121 yards. Some guy named Mostert. What's that? Modal? That underwear, that underwear that Bill Burr's always said. Cotton Modal. Mostert. He had 83 yards. Meanwhile, you got Joe Mixon, 11 carries, 17 yards. He had that Clemson receiver for San Francisco, Deebo Samuel. I mean, Clemson receiver check. First name's Deebo. I'm in. All right? I'm in. 87 yards, 1 touchdown. Clemson, I mean, they got a great crew of receivers in the NFL. Hopkins. I'm not a big Sammy Watkins fan, but Sammy Watkins. Samuel. They got that Renfro guy. Probably 5 more that I can't remember. Them in Alabama. WRU. All right, who's the real WRU? That's on the Bengals. Corners on the Bengals. Ooh, the double L. Colt. Let's see. Let's go ahead. What we got here? No Colt McCoy. It was Case Keenum. Excuse me. Yet again, Case Keenum starring for the Redskins. Cowboys the Redskins. Cowboys 31. Redskins 21. Cowboys moved to 2-0. Redskins fall to 0-2. All right, so Darius Geis was out. So what did that mean? Means we got Adrian Peterson in the ball game. All right, let's take you back to football 101. When you got AP in your backfield, what do you got to do? You got to feed the dude, all right? You got to give him the rock. He's got the DVD, 4K, Blu-ray. It's on his iPhone. He's got it downloaded on things just in case his Wi-Fi goes out, all right? The dude loves the rock. You got to give it to him. And he had nothing. Nothing all day. 11 carries, I think. Meanwhile, you had Zeke, the other side of the sideline, 24 carries, 138 yards. That's like Adrian Peterson's like Pam from that episode of The Office where Roy's being a shitbag and not giving her anything for her anniversary. And here comes all these deliveries from Bob Vance for Phyllis. He just got to sit there and watch Zeke carry the rock all day to carry that giant stuffed teddy bear around while he sits there all lonely. I mean, Jay Gruden as Roy, that fits. I like it. And also, Pam, no, I'm Team Karen. Good win for the Cowboys. I was in the Cowboys. Felt good about that. Did not put any money, real world money on that. No, that was, I don't know. That was a weird one. Seahawks and Steelers. Seahawks 28, Steelers 26. Hawks 2-0. Steelers 0-2. Notes here. Let's see. What do we have? Anything of note? Oh, yeah. Big Ben walking around like he just got done with the McMap session with the tan belt who really had something to prove. What happened to his elbow? He just threw it, squeezed his elbow. Next thing we knew, Mason Rudolph's out there winning me some money. Thank you for that. Russell Wilson, 200 career touchdowns at this point. 29 for 35. Very efficient. That's what you say at that point, right? Completed most of them. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. No turnovers. Dominating win for the Hawks, even though the scoreboard didn't show it. They're 3.5-point dogs. Covered. And then some. Jags, the Texans. Texans 13, Jags 12. Texans go to 1-1. Jags, They fall to 0-2. I was right. They missed it. They missed that strong Christian leadership. Fell apart late, very late. And here, Minshew. He had to drive at the end, most of that, with his legs against the prevent defense. 23 for 33, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Ineffective for most of the game. Let's just keep that in perspective. All right, I'm always going to be throwing salt in the snail. That is Gardner Minshew. Trying to get into my Nick Foles garden and eating all my sweet carrots and lettuce and rhubarb and other things that people grow. Squash. I have award-winning squash. And I will not let Gardner Minshew ruin my award-winning squash. Deshaun Watson, only 159 yards passing. The Jags score with only 30 seconds left. They go for 2, right? And this is another thing I'm going to cover in more detail later. We talk about the, Andy Miles Award for dumbest coaching moves. But Bill O'Brien inexplicably calls timeout with only 30 seconds left in the game. His offense to receive the ball either up a point or down a point. Way to waste the timeout, Bill. It worked out for you. It did. But dumb. Classic Bill O'Brien. Even in a win, just doing the wrong thing. Jags, they covered though. I was on the Jags. Love it. Cardinals at the Ravens. Ravens 23, Cardinals 17. Ravens move to 2-0. Cardinals to 0-1-1. Curse them for the rest of the year for me having to add that 1 onto everything. I don't like it. I'm holding a grudge. Genuinely. Murray played well. I mean, only 17 points on the board, but no interceptions, 349 yards passing. They moved the ball. They couldn't make the extra play they needed to get it into the end zone. Jackson was solid. Made those third down throws that you want to see from him. And the Cards are making progress. Moving on, Pats to the Dolphins. New England made their annual trip to Miami, and they did not fall victim to the Dolphins this time. Pats 43, Dolphins. It's a donut. It's nothing. It's a 0. 2-0 for the Pats, 0-2 for the Dolphins. Articles coming out right after this thing. Fitzmagic may be over in Miami. No. We barely knew ye in a Miami uniform, Ryan. We barely knew ye. And Antonio Brown, something going on. There's some stuff going on with him off the field. We're going to focus on the field aspects here on this particular program. 5 catches, caught a touchdown pass. They were really forcing the ball to him. You can see why they wanted to get him involved in the action pretty heavily today. You want to work out some of the timing stuff, force a few things even if you have to. They were very inefficient in the first half, almost by design, I would say. That's just the sort of 3D chess that Bill's always playing. 2 defensive touchdowns, a defensive unit, man. It's a unit. And really the only concern you have if you're the Patriots fans coming out of this, something happened with their left tackle, Isaiah Wynn. Left the game, did not return. Not necessarily indicative of a severe injury. He left under his own power. Hopefully, nothing serious for him. Pats covered that 19. I mean, like I said, it's a big burger, but they fucking ate that thing. They ate it. Chestnutted it. They just chestnutted that thing and went for dessert and then, broke into the Dolphins. They got Prader-Willi syndrome on that one. They broke into the trash and ate all this shit in the Dolphins' trash, too. They were so hungry. There's nothing to eat in that stadium at this point. Vikings at the Packers. You learn a lesson, and then you're not, that's one of the disappointing things in life. You learn certain lessons, and then you're not able to kind of transfer those into other useful aspects of your life. And I learned the lesson to not bet on one Mr. Joe Flacco. Yeah, he gives a push today, granted, but a lesson to be learned, a lesson to be held. And I gotta think that I cannot keep canceling Kirk Cousins out as some sort of, he's just this 2 or 3 point factor in a ball game. And because of X, Y, and Z, that'll compensate for him. And I can go ahead and bet on the Vikings. So I got to stop doing that. Because I got a big finger raised up right here for you, Kirk. 14 for 32. 14 for 32. 230 yards. 1 touchdown. 2 picks. A fumble. Classic Kirk Cousins. Any big game, this is coming at you. Rodgers is not spectacular. Aaron Jones, 23 carries, 116 yards rushing. But the Packers didn't score at all in the second half. And in fact, they didn't score for the last, 44 minutes and 16 seconds of the game. It's a long time to not score a point in a football game. They won the game. That's all that matters. I lost my bet. And that, for me, really is all that matters. Let's go ahead. Let's cover the rest of what we had in the afternoon here. 2 other games to talk about. Then we'll go ahead and hand out some awards. I'm not going to be back to recap this Sunday night game. It's kicking off right now. What is going on? Oh, no. Oh, no. It's doing that thing where you got to sign up with your cable provider. And then I don't know. My wife's got the damn password for this. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Automatically signed in. That's just one of the advances of Jeff Bezos knowing exactly how many hairs are on your butthole, right? That's a trade-off, everybody. It's a trade-off for the invasion of privacy. I'm 2 clicks away from these Matt Ryan 2018 statistics that undoubtedly Chris Collinsworth is making a big deal about. And then also, I wonder what the kickback is or what the business arrangement is. Because whenever they run those for NBC, right? Whenever they run the introductions, it'll say, Antonio Brown. No, let's not talk about Antonio Brown. Let's talk about somebody else. Julio Jones in this game. Oh, here it is right here. Fletcher Cox, PFF position ranking 2 out of 112, which that's really good. That's really good. Zach Brown, 3rd out of 92. What other impressive rankings do we have? Some people don't have rankings though. Oh, Vontae Maddox, 99th out of 112. That's a call out right there, Vontae. I mean, if I'm seeing that, I'm a Falcons fan. I'm like, what number is Avonte? I'm going to keep an eye on that section of the field because there's probably going to be some good things that happen for the Falcons in that area of the field. Saints at the Rams. Drew Brees is out. Something happened to his thumb. I don't know what it was. Aaron Donald hit him. Yeah, we didn't see him again. We did see Teddy Bridgewater. Rams 27. They moved to 2-0. Saints 9. They fell to 1-1. We did see Teddy Bridgewater. He looked terrible. Really bad. As bad as I remembered Teddy Bridgewater being, plus a little bit worse. It was so bad that Joe Buck was making Taysom Hill threats of, they're saying, hey, Sean Payton, we keep hearing a bunch of this jazz about Taysom Hill being like Steve Young. Well, if he's Steve Young, put him on the field. I understand how Drew Brees can stand, and I agree with them. I understand how Drew Brees can stand between the football field and Steve Young because Joe Montana did, right? Joe Montana stood between Drew Brees and Steve Young for a while till he got too old. They moved on. The young buck out with the old bull. He's not Steve Young, or he would be playing quarterback. That's the bottom line. You got Teddy Bridgewater in the ball game. That dude ain't Steve Young. I'd like to see it though. I'd like to see a lot more Taysom Hill than I would Teddy Bridgewater. I know what I'm getting there, and I'm not for it. Chiefs of the Raiders. This was a frustrating game. An incredibly frustrating game for the gambler of the over. All right, Chiefs 28, Raiders 10. Chiefs go to 2-0, Raiders fall to 1-1. Let's talk about the nemesis of the over and how it sandbagged this game. The nemesis of the over, the one great threat to any over better in any situation, is a turnover in the red zone, the turnover in the end zone. Those are killers. They're killers. And there was 2 of them by the Chiefs and at least 1 of them by the Raiders. Killed me. You take time off the clock, you drive it down, you everything that's bad about it. It's a 35-second shot clock brick for the over better of any basketball game. It's brutal. Turnovers, and if you get a turnover in, minus territory around midfield, whatever, that's a net negative. It's a net neutral or a net positive at times. Somebody turns the ball over on their 5-yard line, good, I'm for that. The other team's going to score real quick. Change possessions. Safeties are great. 2 points go up. They get the ball. Everything is good except when you throw an interception in the end zone. I had the over, if you didn't get that. But Chiefs -7. I also had the Chiefs. And I had a Chiefs over parlay, which didn't hit. All right, let's go. Let's get some awards going here. The Andy Miles Award. This is for the poorest coaching / time management in critical situations. Named in honor of Andy Reid and Les Miles. Bill O'Brien, nominee number 1, Bill O'Brien. So he calls timeout with 30 seconds left before the Jaguars' 2-point attempt. The Texans got 2 timeouts at this point in time. They go from 2 to 1. 30 seconds left. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I get it. They stop it. Everything is good. Texans win. Jaguars suck. You can't do that, though. If they make that, you need that timeout. You need that to try and get your own. We saw it last week. They had, 30 seconds the Saints did. And you don't need a whole lot of time if you get the timeouts in the NFL. You can pick up chunks here and there. And I couldn't I understood it, right? We all understood it because it was Bill O'Brien just doing something stupid. Like, we all registered that in our brain. Matt Bryant, he's old. But, man, that dude can kick. I said Falcons an early lead. Of course they do. Broncos. A lot of Broncos-Bears action in this category. So the Broncos take a timeout before 4th and 10. 2:21 left. They take their last timeout. They get to delay a game on the 2-point conversion to win it. That pushes them back. But luckily, here we come. The Bears, they got 2 people. All right, so there's an individual on the offsides, yes. But for the Andy Miles Award, that's Matt Nagy for having 12 guys in the huddle on 4th and 10. Trubisky makes a play. They hit the field goal. Everything's okay. You can't have 12 dudes in the huddle. All right. Andy Miles Award. I got to give it to Vic Fangio for his just litany of errors and what the fuck is going on here. He's a sauce man, baby. This for you. Vic, you win the award this week, the Andy Miles Award. All right, the Applesauce Award. Brought to you by the Figaro Applesauce Company. Made from the finest veterinary-grade apples and other discounted wholesale produce. Extra cinnamon, extra shame. Figaro. Keenan Cole. All right. Dude hit himself in the nuts trying to perform a high five ceremony. If you haven't seen that, that's out there. Aaron Donald knocked Drew Brees' hand off his body, and then eventually himself out of the game. And finally, O.J. Simpson, because he's hitting the football world with the dose of truth, one Twitter video at a time. All right, Juice, it's for you, buddy. You got a case of Figaro coming to your house. Good news, everyone. You eat it with the spoon. Ho of the week. Oh, you listening to this. There is a decent chance that you might be the Ho of the week. Because the Ho of the week is every single person that thought that Gardner Minshew could just throw on a leisure suit, get on a 747, walk on the football field, and replace Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. Shame on you. Shame on you. Week 11, profit returns. All right, Randy Marsh Award for the person and or team who laid down the biggest turd this week. Eli, you are nominee as always, but also I'm going to co-nominate anyone who's still a part of letting you play football at this point. Your friends, your family, elementary school teachers that haven't attempted to reach out to you and tell you to stop playing football. You're all on the list. The Dolphins, because you're the Dolphins. Oakland's Field, I get it. It was your last go today. But that's ass. It's a baseball field. We're playing football here, everybody. And then Buster Screen. He's a guy that was offsides on that Broncos extra point. Well, Buster, it's okay for you. Your team won. You're off then. Eli, and we might get into the shot at you. Dolphins will always be there. Randy Marsh Award, that goes to Oakland's Field. You'll forever be missed by people who like to laugh at how shitty the Raiders are. All right, have you heard my mixtape? Have you heard it? Bad beats for the week. For me, not even close was that Bears game. Just the way that all played out. I mean, them going offside. Buster Screen is really the one that fucked me over here. Right? Let's say Buster Screen doesn't go offsides. Wait, no. I guess he didn't because the kicker missed that kick. I don't know how, but it didn't work out to where the Bears could win that thing by 3 and actually get some money pushed across. Custom Khakis Award. It's going to be the last award for the week. It's for the biggest balls. We're going to have to get Taylor on those things. Get you something special. Frank Reich, he's a constant nominee. 4th and 1. On his own 35 with that 2:21 left. He's going for it. Both teams have 2 timeouts. And this is at some point during this game, Vinatieri's missed an extra point. That old dude's slipping. Grandpa, you're slipping, homie. Doug Marrone. He goes for 2 and the win. He didn't get it, but that's part of having stones, man. Not getting is part of going for it. And then Pete Carroll, he went for it on 4th and 1. 2:20 left there, and they're on the Steelers' 31-yard line. That's not to, they're not going to lose that thing, I don't think, even if that happens. Let's not forget Mason Rudolph's on the other side of this. But it takes some stones to make that happen in the first place. And I would like to give it to Dougie as a consolation prize, but that's not going to happen because what Reich did, I mean, he's staring down the barrel at that point. Yeah, granted, he's staring down the barrel of a Marcus Mariota bullet, but if he doesn't make that 4th down, even a Mariota-led offense can get a few yards and end that. So I'm going to give that to you, Frank. And Carson Wentz, of course, you're looking terrible. Let's hope the Eagles can pull this thing out. We'll be back on Friday. We'll be getting after it again.